everyone, welcome back to this week's Healthy Dose, where we're going to be chatting all things self-love. Now, what is self-love? It's been almost like a woo-woo word or hyped up word, you could say, that has been thrown around a lot. But so what is it actually? Self-love isn't anything new. I just want to point that out there. It's actually something that we've always been doing since we've been around on this earth. It's just now looked a little bit different because of our modern life. And we're just getting busier and busier. And now we are getting lost almost in this kind of constant workflow, but not taking care of ourselves. So self-love is all about connection with self and loving yourself. And that can look a little different for everyone. And what that means is doing things for yourself each day that you love, that's going to make you feel good. That's all it actually is. It's not actually anything new. It's just something that we instinctively want, and it's a necessity in our life, but yet we have kind of over time have come to neglect it a little bit because of this modern world and because we're working women and we want to do everything, and that's absolutely fine. We just need to create time now to do those things for ourselves, because naturally we need to make sure that we're doing those things for ourselves to fill up our cup, but also create that pleasure in our life to make us feel good, to make us feel feminine, to make us feel love for ourselves and excited about life. So then we can then go and serve and do our job and serve and be in our relationship and feel sexy and feel confident, which is part of that estrogen, part of that female body. So when I talk about being feminine, every man and a woman has feminine and masculine energy. I'm not talking about how they're separate, they're actually together. But women biologically, because we have more estrogen, we have more of that feminine because it comes out through our hormones to make us feel that way. Men have more testosterone, which gives them more that masculine, which gives them that kind of drive and purpose. So we both have those levels, they just look a little different in a male and a female. So I talk about that from more of a feminine and masculine energy. And why that's important for self-love is because when you're doing the work for yourself, you're building up that feminine energy, that masculine energy to make yourself feel good. Now, self-love is going to look very, very different for each person. Everyone's got their own idea of what makes them feel good. No one's the same person. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different DNA. Everyone's got a different childhood experience. Everyone's in different situations. So your self-love might look a little different to the person or your friend that's next to you. Where I like to ask people where to start with if you don't know what that looks like or what you enjoy, because I know I get some people that are like, I don't know, I just watch Netflix, which is not a bad thing, but it's not really filling up your cup in a really nice way. Netflix can be quite numbing on the body and actually not really nourishing. And so a good one to do is to look and reflect. And what can you remember about your childhood that you really enjoyed? It might be as simple as being outside all the time. You were always out in the garden, you never wanted to be inside. Maybe you need to fill up your cup by, going outside, being amongst nature, really getting that grounding for you. Did you always like to be around your mum when she baked? Is baking something that makes you feel good? Was it always being around people? Do you remember having dinner parties, or do you remember being very social as a kid and that really you loved that? Maybe you loved that connection. Can you remember lying in the garden and looking up at the sky and just watching the sky go past? Maybe it's just simply going at the park and looking up at the sky and just doing kind of cloud gazing. Cloud gazing? Is that a thing? But otherwise, it could be if you love the beach, going down to the beach and being in the, at the beach side. Can you remember when you were younger that you were bored and you actually just would lie on your bed, read a lot? What is it? Did you love smelling things? Did you love picking flowers? Can you go out and pick flowers now? I think so. I know for me personally, the smell of honeysuckle, nostalgic smell for me. So I love to smell that on a regular basis. But I also remember being another thing is I always remember being in the kitchen with my mum when she was baking. I was so excited to watch her bake because because I knew I was going to get the bowl when she was baking a cake, and I was so excited to lick the bowl. I don't know if anyone else had that, but I was super, super excited. So those things, I love baking now, and I love smelling things and picking flowers. They're my things to fill up my cup. It may look a little bit different now, if I have a really busy day, I know that I like to light candles to get that scent I know I like to meditate and sit on my own. I am very aware of what my food looks like and the health of my food. So I like to bake things on occasion, but I do bake healthier things, and I like to be creative with my cooking in healthy recipes. I like to really make sure that I'm healthy on a daily basis. So, you know, what is it that makes you feel good? That's what self-love is making sure you're feeling good more often than not. Because if you're going throughout your day and you don't feel good about yourself, then you're constantly in a negative state. You know, then it's just like this vicious cycle that gets created, and then you're not allowing yourself to feel good about other things or opportunities or things that come your way. You may not realize how good they actually are. When you're in a state of pleasure, when you're in a state of excitement and feeling good about yourself, when things come your way, you get more excited, you feel more grateful. So your brain is almost more aware of that. So there's so many benefits of it. It's instinctively, years and years and years ago, it was just within us to feel good, to go out and be amongst more people, to experience life, and to experience the life that we wanted it to be instead of living to work. And I know there's a lot of people that love their work. That's so fine. But if you don't love your work, then let's start living. You know, I'm pretty sure I've got it on my board as well, which is life is about living, you know, and it's a good reminder that work, for me, I love my work. It gives me purpose and I get to help a lot of people, but my life comes first. You know, what I do on a daily basis to make myself feel good comes first. You know, connecting with people and reading and just really enjoying my life the way I want it to be. It's going to be really, really important. And it's also going to be really healthy for your mind and your soul. So I hope you really enjoyed this week. It's a short one. It was just a really good one to just talk about self-love, because it is something that is a bit of a hype word now, but know that it's just purely about filling up your cup in the way that you want it to be, and doing stuff that makes you feel good to make your life good and make you feel healthy and make you feel happy. Thank you for watching this week's Healthy Dose. Give it a thumbs up if you really like this video. Also hit subscribe so I can keep bringing you great videos each week on all things women's health. See you next week.